Tom Dwan doesn't just sit at the poker table, he dominates it. In this video, we're breaking down the most insane bluffs, the ballsiest moves, and the most soul-crushing hands where the king of high stakes turned poker into pure chaos. Let's dive in. In our first hand, Tom makes a big 3-bet squeeze with ace-jack and gets 2 callers as we go 3 ways to the flop.
And all 3 players have your favorite bluffing hand?
Ace high for everyone, and a 6 Rattlestein.
Having missed the flop completely and being up against 2 players, most players would just give up right away. But not Tom Dwan.
Little continuation here.
Dwan bets 25,000.
Krish is gone, and we could have another hand shaping up like the Daniel Garrett hand. Well, now a flush is possible, so that might stop the action.
Another club.
When that Garrett is serving it up to Tom. And then Tom is going to take advantage.
Here we go. He bet 60,000.
Just the kind of bet he would make if he had queen or jack of clubs. It's really hard to call with a pair of 6s here. He was in a much better spot in the Daniel hand, even though it was a lot more money, but this is a really hard call.
Probably can't put any more money in this hand, yeah. Seems very unlikely.
I got a feeling Garrett would have called if that was the 10 of hearts. I think Garrett would have called.
It's like we talked about, Krish, losing hands is boring. Makes me yawn. Nah.
And Dwan scoops up the pot with only ace high. A great bluff for sure, but we're only just getting started. In this next hand, Dwan calls pre-flop with 8-6 suited. Not a great hand, but still way better than some of the crazy hands he's known to play.
Round 2 between Bob and Tom, and that flop could make things exciting.
5,000? I never got a poker after dark hat.
Top pair, top kicker for
Yeah,
Bob.
I didn't get the poker after dark hat.
Dwan flops a flush draw against Bob Safai's top pair. He keeps calling, trying to hit his flush.
Well, then stop pretending you want the hat. I don't want the hat. Yeah, I know. I want that.
Phil, all your clothing line, they're all black or different color?
We have all kinds of different stuff. This is the most conservative shirt. We have skateboarders with hearts, spades, diamonds, and clubs. We have trees.
I like that one. I like the skateboarder one.
Thanks. A lot of people like the skateboarder one, yeah.
You sell it online or it's at
Yeah,
the shop?
pokerbrat.com.
Online? Just started?
Yeah, we just opened our store like last week.
Dwan calls 12,000 on the turn.
Selling hats, shirts.
Almost 40 grand in the pot.
Hey, can you get the karate belt, poker, whatever instruction?
But the river is where things start to get interesting.
What is it called? Black belt karate something, right?
Safai checks the river.
I think he checked.
Did
you check? I did, I checked. He checked.
Was Bob Safai running a 2-barrel bluff, or is he checking to induce a bluff from Tom?
How much do you have?
Over 150,000.
I'm all in.
Wow. Don't ever question Tom Dwan's heart.
The kid just bet 100 grand like it's nothing.
Did you see me check? About 133, I think.
Wow, that would be my whole stack.
133.2.
Joe Navarro would have a field day with the way that Dwan, it was the slowest all-in I've ever seen in my life. His hands are like this and he's staring into space.
What does that mean?
I don't know, Joe Navarro. I want to get him here. Yeah, once. I don't know.
The funny part is, I put you on a hand. I think you hit it on the river.
I tell you one thing. I do not want to be Bob right now.
Show the 4-7 of clubs, kid.
Bob Safai lays down the best hand.
6 of clubs.
Can't show that one.
Why can't you show that one? You showed one of them.
Do you want me to show it?
Yeah.
6-8 of clubs.
Yeah. Nice hand.
Now we know Dwan can make great soul reads against the amateurs, but let's see what happens when he goes head-to-head against the pros. Up next, Dwan makes another 3-bet squeeze with 9-8 suited. Again, for Tom's standards, this may as well be a premium hand. Ivy's not impressed so far, so he calls with Ace-6 suited. Now let's watch the very best of the best battle it out. Another amazing bluff by Dwan, but you have to give credit to Ivy for actually considering making a call with a pair of sixes here. Next up, Dwan calls pre-flop with 7-5 suited. It seems like he really enjoys playing these suited gappers, and soon you'll find out why.
My money.
Sixes for JRB.
They're isolating you.
Dwan's got an inside straight draw.
That's true. Yeah, that's a good
Sort of
one.
like
Don't flatter yourself there.
objective. You know what I mean?
They're pretty
trying to extract money.
To be fair, I
I've
try
seen
to give it away.
sometimes though.
He bets 25,000.
She came to the poker game and everybody be like, "What do you want me to do?" She was hot ass, and then they'd be like, "Call," and she'd be like, and they'd be like, "Okay, call." You know what I mean? And then boom, she turned like $2,000 into like 30 in an hour.
Oh
It was
my
the
God,
craziest
that's
thing I ever saw. Well, just everybody just gave her money.
JRB calls. He's hoping he's up against a draw, or maybe ace king, ace queen.
How she did that? You probably just been wrong game playing casino games. Gotta get some good home.
That 8 makes an open end straight for Tom Dwan.
Yeah, come to our games.
What?
It was sort of, I think, a rather smaller game for.
He feels JRB was not comfortable calling on the flop.
What do you want me to do? I want you to call. Okay.
So he wants to get this pot right here, and he does have an open end straight draw in case JRB would call.
Yeah, I need to find games where people.
But he wants to end things right here.
Dwan drops a bunch of cranberries in there and puts Belland all in.
I didn't expect that. He wants this hand over with. He thinks JRB has a bigger hand than he has, probably putting him on ace 10 or maybe jacks.
Wow. Feels like ace queen of diamonds there, buddy.
That's close, JRB.
Wow.
Belland tries to get a read from Tom, but you'd have better luck drawing blood from a stone.
The only problem is my history is that I make the right call and then the diamond peels off. That's a good bet, Tom. Feels like ace queen of diamonds. Feels like ace queen of diamonds. Good read, Robert. Don't do like Daniel and call off. Daniel would call off and he'd be right. Ugh. You think you can put a river that's not a diamond?
Dwan can still pack a punch at the right time.
What a fantastic bet, Tom. I like it. Oh, boy. Nope, not gonna call. Good bet.
Doesn't matter now.
Let's see the river. I want to see that diamond just to make sure I made a good fold.
It looks like Dwan is quite comfortable with semi-bluffing in huge pots, but now let's see what happens when he has no hand at all. Peter Eastgate goes for a big squeeze with pocket jacks, and Dwan has pocket fours. Usually in a spot like this, you would either flat call the set mine, or more likely just fold. But this is Tom Dwan we're talking about here.
He's going to raise to $58,700.
Daniel's not going to play his sevens.
Dwan doesn't spike a set, but he's not ready to give up just yet.
No small cards, but 2 overcards to Peter's jacks. Check there. That's kind of like waving a white flag, especially the way he checked.
What do you mean the way he checked?
Well, it wasn't a strength check.
Yeah. It was kind of weak.
And Tom Dwan, who at his young age is a master of reading people,
is going to bet $62,200 here.
it's a really good bet. It's half the size of the pot. Kind of bet he would make if he had an ace-king.
How much do you got? 9.
About 215.
Peter Eastgate does not want to go away gently. If he would play back at Tom Dwan in this position, he would gain full professional status. This would be a great move, and he's thinking about it.
Yes.
He's still thinking about it. Something just doesn't smell right to him. But he can't pull the trigger.
It really takes some serious guts to pull off something like this on such a scary board, but it's nothing compared to this next hand. This next hand is probably the wildest 7-deuce bluff ever recorded on screen. Tom's playing a heads-up match against Sammy George and raises it up to $6,000 pre-flop. Sammy defends with ace-6. Now just sit back and watch Dwan do what Dwan does best.
It's funny, I mean, what would you make it 6x with? Obviously, he's trying to take the...
Either 7-deuce or a very strong hand trying to look like 7-deuce, I think.
10,000.
How much? He's bet nearly the size of the pot, and Sammy calls here. Tom should pretty much be done with this at this stage, right? I mean...
Well, it's hard to say.
Raise.
Oh, Sammy has raised it here.
27.
A little check raise to only 27,000. You can really see how that big bet pre-flop compounds on itself to build a gigantic pot. The pot had only been 6 going into the flop. Maybe Tom bets 5 and Sammy raises to 15, but now we're building a huge pot here.
Feels like kind of an optimistic call. I mean, that deuce of hearts, you know, the heart will come and Tom could be in big trouble.
Still be behind. I wonder if he's reading something into that raise size by Sammy. It reminds me a little bit of the Queen-Jack hand, where Sammy had Queen-Jack and Tom had 7-5 on Queen-6-3, and Sammy made a little check raise, and then Tom ended up bluffing him out of the pot. I wonder if something similar might be going on here, if Tom thinks Sammy has made that check raise with a medium-strength hand that he might not be willing to get all his chips in with.
That's a big bet.
It is.
48,000.
That's
48.
That's a crazy bet. I mean, like, Dirk could... He must think he's drawing dead right now, Dirk.
He probably thinks he's got a shot at the heart being live, but a whole lot of the time, yeah, he'll be drawing dead to a small or medium flush or something like top or second pair with a big heart.
Time to give up.
Sammy has a stronger hand than I think Tom would expect.
So you're thinking maybe he's got something like just a dry king of hearts and he can take him off it?
Or something like King-Jack with the king of hearts, King-10 with the king of hearts for a gut shot as well.
Come on.
No!
Oh, wow! That is a gigantic bet.
No way.
More than double the pot. What is Sammy going to do here? This is making things awfully tough on him.
He's looking at him. You can stare at Durr all day long. And he's just going to have that same...
Sammy might be thinking Tom could have aces with that big raise pre-flop. It's down to the 2 black aces. Sammy's got the ace of diamonds in his hand, and the ace of hearts is on the board.
Would he have played aces like this?
Quite conceivably. There's no street where I think he definitely would have done something different.
I mean, I know Durr plays stakes like this all the time, but this is a big pot. This is a big bluff.
Yeah. Looks like Sammy might be getting ready to get rid of those cards.
Wow.
Oh, you can't fold, Sammy. There it goes. And Tom will table the 7-2 to collect an additional 10,000.
Ouch.
And he told him right at the outset of the hand, I have 7-2, I just wanted to pick up the blinds. Sammy said he didn't believe him. And he didn't. This pot will go down in the history of TV poker. This was just incredible.
Tom picks up more than $600,000 in a single hand. But believe it or not, in the next hand, he manages to scoop down an even bigger pot. Elton Sang straddles with pocket fours, and Dwan raises it up to $40,000 with ace-queen.
So Elton flops strongest. His fours are still out ahead. There's the overcards running straight and flush draws. Doesn't matter. It's really nice to have the chance to improve your hand on the turn. Even if it's just a deuce of clubs, it's still much better potential than when you have a hand like ace, queen of diamonds here.
Tom turns the nuts flush draw, and you just know this pot is about to get massive.
He's gonna assume that 7 and a deuce are both good, and he fires at it. You see these really unconventional, aggressive plays from Elton Sang. They're both awesome to watch, and they really throw a curveball at people. Double check for a club. Elton is so tough to play. Wow. All in from Tom. Tom is not having it. Excellent read. What a huge decision here. Last time he was the one putting his opponent to the test. So an incredible read from Tom. Elton gonna kick himself for betting here. This man has ice in his veins. $775,000 bet. Now we know that Elton has 71% to win this hand. Can he figure that out? Big part of Elton's thought process here is going to be, would Tom shove flush here?
And Sang folds the best hand. Dwan just pulled off $1 million bluff without breaking a sweat. This guy is truly next level. Next up, Dwan manages to push Peter Eastgate out of another big pot. Barry Greenstein open raises with pocket aces and gets a lot of action. we get a massive family pot with 8 players involved.
A 10 and 2 deuces on the flop.
Yeah. Peter Eastgate's flopped 3 deuces.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good flop for Barry. He wants to see what's going on.
That's 10,000.
Greenstein c-bets $10,000, and Dwan makes a reckless raise to $37,000.
Barry calls. It's turning out to be a very interesting hand.
Yeah. 7 on the turn.
Peter and Barry check.
I had 2 before.
He bets $104,200.
He's got the weakest hand but the biggest heart. And Peter Eastgate says, well, what's going on here? I got $500,000 in front of me. Do I want to risk it?
Will he be able to pick up the pot in this crazy minefield?
I question what Dwan did on the flop, but right now I think he knows exactly where he's at.
Wow.
Peter Eastgate releases. He thinks, well, Dwan could very easily have ace deuce. And I'm not risking all this money. And Dwan realized that Peter Eastgate probably had a weak deuce. Now it's up to Barry. Barry realizes that Tom Dwan's got quite an imagination, but does he have this much imagination? It's going to cost Barry his whole stack also, because he's not going to just call here, he's going all in.
Wow.
Barry throws it away.
And Dwan takes it down again with the weakest hand. Do you think Dwan knew he was bluffing here, or did he actually think he had the best hand? Dwan has an uncanny ability to smell weakness in his opponents, but sometimes he pushes his luck too far, like in this next hand. He open raises with 7-3 suited, which is already a dubious play at best. We go 3 ways to the flop, and Dwan picks up a flush draw. You just know he's gonna bet here, but Eli Elezra decides to take a stand.
Ace 10.
Raise to 45,000.
Raised to 45,000.
You got raised.
You are correct, sir. And as Viffer says, he got raised. And what does he do? If he goes all in and Ellie has a higher flush draw.
About 250? Roughly?
Durr's in bad shape.
Less.
He's just going to call. Allen's gone. Mr. Durr needs a diamond.
Here we go.
Welcome to Mr. Durr needs a diamond.
You were like the pickle in the middle, Alan.
Jack of hearts.
Mr. Durr does not get his diamond. Ellie looks a little confused here.
Yeah.
He's not sure. Durr had another opportunity to draw out on the river, but he didn't get there. He's very likely to bet here because he is Durr and because he's got 7 high. And because he knows that Ellie's hand probably isn't that strong.
$57,300.
I think that bet is in case Ellie's got a flush draw also and doesn't have an ace. But Ellie does have an ace, and it looks like he's calling. There he goes.
All right.
I have 7 high.
That was a costly mistake to be sure, but it's nothing compared to the next hand. Up next, Tom Dwan finally gets a taste of his own medicine in one of the craziest hands of all time. He open raises with 7-deuce offsuit, and the fearless Rui Cao 3-bets to 36,000 euros.
No shit. Yeah. But it's my fourth right there. I mean,
3-bet and a call.
Yeah, but wow, I would have thought you had. People want to become like me, businessman winning a title.
Of course.
I want one too.
Two jets.
Next stop.
When?
Winford said.
July.
30K C-bet from Rui Cao. Tom with just a 7-deuce. Has not laid it down yet. Does he think we're making a move because Rui Cao plays every single hand?
Malaysia, hey.
I think we should start playing short deck.
Okay. I start.
Yeah. How about we swap?
Okay.
I mean, you teach me.
No tournaments?
No. Every day in our game, I cannot let him improve.
I mean.
A raise to 126,000 euro with 7-deuce, ready to show everyone.
Maybe not, he's thinking.
If he could take this down.
Maybe.
But Rui Cao has not folded yet. Instead of trying to slow play against. Oh my god, he's calling with 8 high. He doesn't have anything.
Got deuce 7 this time.
I don't understand. And the turn is an ace.
We have to play 10.
No flush draw.
How much you want, Tony? Technically, it could be like deuce 7 versus deuce 7.
Ball. 130. You have about 500.
400,000 behind.
About a bit less than 400.
Wait, 400?
A little bit less is what you say.
Can Tom find a bet? Or just 7-deuce on this board that is supposed to hit the 3-better? Oh my, he's reaching for chips.
Start shooting all in. Elton, je staat do a few all in.
Do a few all ins?
Yeah.
I've been trying. I just need a couple of deuce 7s, you know? Like, yeah, fuck! I voted deuce 7. Yeah, you said that already. It's actually okay not to play it. It's not that big a disadvantage. Yeah. Under the gun.
Half pot bet, and Rui Cao calls with 8-7 high, thinking that Tom has got nothing, and he's going to steal it from him.
He's investing like 400k to win 7.
I know. It can work.
It can still work.
Pre-flop is a little scary.
655,000 euro in the middle. One's got 7-deuce, one's got 8 high, who's floated the flop and floated the turn.
Every other minute we have to
man.
you know?
So the game cannot stop.
Now it's starting to get tense in here as they realize what's going on at the table. Can Tom fire one more time? He gives up. Gives the pot to Rui Cao. Double checks the cards. This is the craziest hand. He goes all in.
Deuce 7. Deuce 7, right?
Yeah. Why did you check then? And you
because he snap called me if I shove.
Queen 10. Queen 10.
Fuck you!
I know you had deuce 7. Let's go. You shove, I call.
Oh my god.
You're fucking 8 high. You shove. I swear to God, I call. Bull. I swear to God, I call.
What happens next is pure madness, so just sit back and watch. This last one is technically not a bluff, but it's still funny because both players had the same hand, and it just goes to show how hard it is to play against the Durr. Tom straddles with King Jack of diamonds, and Damien LaForbes raises with King Jack of clubs. Of course, Dwan is not going to make things easy for his opponents, so he goes for a big squeeze. We go 3 ways to the flop, and 2 players make the top pair. Now it's just a matter of figuring out who wants to win the pot more.
Why is Dwan's percentage at 0 here?
That's a good question. That's because he can't be the only winner in this pot. The best he can do is split with Damien. But it is confusing. Now Damien can win.
Yeah.
He's got a 5% chance of winning if 2 more clubs come. But you can ask me these questions. This is what I'm here
Sure.
for.
No, I like it.
So if there's something you'd like to know about poker, just ask.
Okay.
And graphics.
Yeah.
Poker and
Yeah.
graphics.
You got about 100?
Cranberries.
Dwan wants to win the pot right now. He doesn't want Damien to draw. He could have a flush draw, could have Jack 10, straight draw. Maybe even ace jack. He wants him to throw that away too.
God, I really just feel like you've got like pocket 10s, ace queen of hearts. Somewhere in that range, I don't know. I beat both of those, by the way.
How can you fold if you beat pocket tens?
I have king jack of clubs.
Ooh.
And Tom just can't resist showing his hand to Damien. Apart from winning money, I guess the best part of bluffing is making your opponents look stupid. But the crazy thing is, these amazing bluffs aren't even close to being the most mind-blowing we've ever seen. Because over the years, poker greats like Daniel Negreanu have pulled off some insane bluffs that left everyone at the table completely in awe. So if you want to see how he pulls them off, click on this video right here to see Kid Poker's greatest bluffs ever recorded at the poker table. We'll see you there.